Hello and welcome to another update video about gold. We at the moment have a bit of a retracement here on the gold chart. This is at the moment not a problem. If you've watched my last video, you will probably remember that I told you that my assumption is that we will push here a little bit higher, possibly all the way up to 1780 in that region. Maybe not quite as high, yeah, we're going to take a look at that, but that we have a good chance to push a little bit higher. So and this is not over yet. Yeah, we have started a retracement, but this doesn't mean that wave one is over. In fact, my assumption is that wave one is not yet over. So we are going to take a look at that. I will just have to change the degree here of the wave, and then we can, because I would like to label with you in this video the subwaves of this move to the upside. At the moment, we can assume that the low is in. Now again, this is not high confidence yet because we haven't really seen that larger 1-2 setup yet. This is also where gold failed here, yeah? Where gold failed. So also here we had the same situation where gold touched my reversal area. We saw a significant reversal attempt, at least. We could count 5 waves to the upside at the time, and we then said that the move down, which is starting now, is going to be the stress test for the bullish scenario, because at the moment when it touched my reversal area here and then indeed reversed, this was the signal that the minimum requirements for this correction were complete and that it could start to reverse. But you really only have a really good assumption or view if a low was in if you have a confirmed bottom in place, and you only have that confirmed bottom in place if you get a proper 1-2 setup. Now we saw a possible wave 1, but the wave 2 never stopped, so we never had a confirmed bottom in place. It kept dropping and dropping, and in the end invalidated the 1-2 setup, and now we make another attempt to the upside by breaking through the previous swing high here of the wave 4. That's always a good signal. At the moment we are actually retesting that previous resistance level from above, and if that is holding, which ideally it should in this scenario, then this is okay. But if we drop any lower than that, I would get a bit of it would be a bit of a concern, really. So it really needs to hold this level, otherwise we also need to scrap this assumption, in my opinion. Yeah, at the moment I would still be fairly, not fairly confident, but carefully confident that a bottom was in place here, and that we could expect at least expect a bit of a medium-term uptrend. Yeah. Now again, this is not going to happen in one straight line. Now at the moment, my assumption would be that we came up in a wave 1 here. So this was a wave 1. We then moved down. Maybe I zoom in a bit more. So moved down here in a wave 2 correction. So that means we then are looking at the wave 3. Now I don't think the wave 3 was in yet. I think the wave 3 is still coming, and that what we have seen here, yeah, these were all the subwaves of the wave 3, and we can label them as well. And that I would say that this was a wave 1, here another wave 2, here a wave 3. We are now in a long sideways wave 4, and would then push into a wave 5 of 3. So then I'm gonna change the degree again. But for this, the price now imminently must push to the upside. If it drops below that 1696 level, I think also this is getting into, this assumption is getting into danger, I would say. I mean, you could see this even as a bit of a bull flag that's currently taking place here. Bit of a, maybe a descending wedge channel. There's different ways of drawing that, but here you have most touch points with one fake out to the upside, and then maybe even here a bit like that, yeah, so that you get a consolidation, a slight downward sloping channel in an overall uptrend. So let's see. But yeah, basically the condition here would be that this wave 4 now needs to hold. A drop below that 1698 level, not good for the chart. Yeah, not good for the chart. At the moment this is still possible, but already getting tough, because as you can see, we look at the Fibonacci retracement levels, we briefly even dropped below the 50% Fib level. Now we haven't broken it substantially, therefore not a problem, but it really should not drop any lower, because otherwise it's probably not going to be a wave 4 anymore. So next we would then expect a push to the upside in a wave 5 of 3, and this could push all the way up to, I mean, let's make some assumptions here, calculate that, measure that based on the length of the wave 1. We can come up here with a target area, and yeah, I would say it starts, ideally what I would want to see in this 5th wave, I would want to see the 1-to-1 ratio as a minimum, 1747, maybe all the way up to 1778, okay, in this wave. So let's put that onto the chart as a target area. Really, if we don't reach that, then it's gonna be a very weak one. Yeah, it would be a very, very weak one, if it is one at all. So I would want to see a higher high than wave 3, and then we're nearly there already at 1748. Now that would not complete wave 1, to be fair. Wave 1 will only be complete if we also have this wave 4 done and this wave 5 done, and then we look at wave 2. Now, and as soon as we have this complete, then I'm also going to add more gold here in the low of wave 2, where we are quite far away from. So first of all, we need to finish off wave 5 of 3, then wave 4, then wave 5. This would finish off wave 1, and then we can come down in wave 2. That's sort of how I personally see it at the moment. Again, this whole assumption will get invalidated or become very unlikely if we drop below 1698. Can I promise you this support is going to hold? No, of course not. Yeah, the same way that I couldn't promise you that this low is going to hold. Therefore, I always told you the warning that this move down is going to be the stress test for the bullish scenario. But overall, my view is we should be really, really close to the low, because any drop below 1605 would have very, very negative consequences for the gold price. I told you before, if we drop below that level, I think we could even see a 3-digit gold price. That would be a bit of a disaster, and that just has to do with the fact that below that level, this cannot be a higher level wave 4 anymore. It would need to become a wave 2, and then we have a different higher level assumption, and it can retrace much, much more. And yeah, that is currently my understanding here of the gold chart. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then also check out my main channel, More Crypto Online. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.